3,000-pound killing machine.
Somewhere between 20 and possibly 30 feet in length.
Could the habitat here support a large reptile like that? Absolutely.
The Asia-Pacific region stretches from the mountainous regions of China down to the vast islands of Indonesia and the arid deserts of Australia. Thousands of remote islands dot the waters of the Western Pacific. And according to legend, there may be something else here, a monster predator with a taste for human flesh.
A gigantuous monitor lizard.
20 to 25 to 27 foot in length.
They can move like lightning, they've got razor-sharp claws and very powerful jaws.
The creature is described as a huge dragon-like reptile with an elongated neck and skull. Its length is said to be up to 30 feet long, as large as a modern-day bus. Rex Gilroy describes a frightening account of a huge reptile that terrorized the Australian village of Euroa, Victoria in 1890.
It was raiding farms, eating livestock for weeks, going from farm to farm, being seen, killing the odd cow.
A search party was formed to hunt down the beast and kill it. They eventually chased the beast back into the surrounding bush. During the winter of 1979, Gilroy received a phone call from a farmer who claimed to have seen a 20-foot-long grayish lizard roaming near Marulia on the New South Wales coast.
Come out of the jungle and walked across his paddock.
The farmer told Gilroy there were fresh tracks in his field. Gilroy was able to cast one distinguishable track. He's convinced it's from a modern-day monster.
Yeah, about 12 inches across. I estimated the creature that made them might have been about anywhere between 20 and 25 feet.
For the first time ever, MonsterQuest will have this find analyzed by a world-renowned paleontologist. John Long is the head of sciences at the Melbourne Museum, home of a life-size skeletal replica of Megalania.
Well, this is the skeleton of Megalania, which was the largest terrestrial reptile to walk the face of Australia for the last 60 million years. It was about 7 meters long, we estimate, maybe weighing up to a ton.
Fossil remains indicate that Megalania may have survived until a mere 40,000 years ago, avoiding extinction longer than most of its contemporaries. But are stories of the Megalania confined to the pages of early history?
Just comparing the symmetry of the toe pattern on the foot and the hand, and it's nothing like this. These have got very short digits 1 and 5 and long digits 2 and 3. So I would say this is nothing to do with a creature like this.
Peter Hancock is a journalist and author on Aboriginal culture. His interviews with native descendants indicates that encounters with the creature may have been common. Aboriginal elders tell stories of a giant lizard swimming into the ocean and fighting with one of the sea's most ferocious animals.
Somehow or other he gets on the wrong side of the great white shark, and the great white shark attacks him and they have a fight, and Megalania drags himself ashore. But these are still bright, vibrant stories from something that supposedly was the last big carnivore and predator that they ever had to deal with thousands of years ago. And you'd think the memories would fade, but they haven't, and the impression being that they were around until quite recently.
If history supports the possibility of monster lizards in Australia, could other nearby lands with populations of large reptiles also harbor giants? Indonesia may hold the answer, where the world's largest known dragons live today, the deadly Komodo dragon. The largest Komodo dragon on record measured 10 feet long and weighed 365 pounds, 1/3 the size of Megalania. But could Komodo dragons grow to the size of Megalania?
It seems that these animals mutate quickly. It might only take 2 or 3 generations for them to get larger.
At an average size of 8 feet, Komodo dragons are terrifying predators.
They're aggressive predators. These animals will feed on anything, including animals as large as water buffalo.
Among the hunted are human beings. In June of 2008, a Swedish diver marooned on the island of Rincha faced off against a Komodo dragon.
The dragon the divers encountered seemed hungry.
Wetsuit in its mouth. So Kath, the other lady, got a stick, and this is a Komodo dragon. Kath was fighting it off with a stick, and me and Helena were throwing boulders at it.
Encountering the rumored 20-foot beast would mean certain death. MonsterQuest has mobilized a team of researchers to search the island of Rincha to find a giant Komodo dragon. The team hangs the goat high in a tree over the valley for bait. The following morning brings news. The bait has worked. The largest dragon they have seen this day comes toward the group. From a distance, it is impossible to distinguish exact length. The only way to find out is to capture one. Securing the jaws is essential if the team is to avoid becoming the creature's next victim.
We almost messed up, but yeah, at the end we can handle this animal. It's 2.7 meters at least. Wow, it's quite big. 2.9 in Rincha, so I think it's probably almost the biggest one.
Over 9 feet long and weighing more than 160 pounds. But could these islands hide an even bigger one? Komodo dragons themselves were an unknown animal only a century ago. What else could lurk in the most remote reaches of the planet, still undiscovered?
There's a lot of inaccessible country up there, and I say anything could live out there and you wouldn't know it. You'd hide an army of dinosaurs there if you wanted to. The chase goes on.